Hello and welcome to the ride review of the BMW or BMW F900R. So I would like to talk about its engine first. It has a parallel twin 890 plus cc engine. So it has 105 horsepower and 92 Newton meters of torque. Disclaimer, this is not the stock pipe. For the BMW or BMW F900R, it's quite insane and it's quite loud. It has lots of road presence. The bike itself is large. The sound of the engine is large as well. So there's a lot going on. The F900R has a very long wheelbase, contributing to that very stable feel when you're running even at high speeds. For the competition of the F900, so we have the Z900, the MT-09. Honestly, it doesn't have the best performance compared to its competition, but BMW made sure that they're going to compensate with the technology included. But this is the standard model. It doesn't have the dynamic ESA. The ride modes only has road and rain. And they say that the Dynamic Pro is the best ride mode for this motorcycle. But for me, even for the road ride mode, it already has a lot. So talking about the ergonomics, the rear set is rather high, to the point that it's forcing you to grip the tank with your legs. But I'm not complaining with that. And then it has, of course, this is a Street Fighter, you have a more lean forward stance. A little note is when you're riding very long distances, the posture might come off as uncomfortable. But I love how responsive the throttle is and how the engine responds to its input. And thanks to its ergonomics, you're already prepared for aggressive riding. But in contrast to aggressive riding, this bike can actually go as relaxed as you need to. And I think it's very versatile. You can use this for long travels, or you can just use it for your daily commute. Because even at low RPMs, this bike has a lot to give, yet feels very balanced. And I love just, even for higher or low speeds, this bike can actually just be as comfortable as it goes. Now for the vibration, however, yes, it's kind of felt. So that's why I said that for long distance touring, maybe you should get the F900 GS instead. But for something like Sunday cruising, going to cafe tam bikes, this bike is just right. And like what I'm doing now, I'm going to Motobox or Cafe 55, where I'm just going to take a sip of coffee and enjoy the view, which will be this bike. It will be parked inside of it. In my opinion, if this has the quick shifter, it would be really great as well. Now they said for the throttle slash quick shifter is, it would be best if the throttle is midway through, and then that's where you kick in that quick shifter. That's where the quick shifter works the smoothest. Now in terms of engine heat, I've ridden this yesterday for quite some time, and fortunately I did not feel much engine heat coming through. It doesn't run hot. And there you can see the transmission is smooth as well. The transmission from first gear to sixth gear is functioning well. It's very smooth, no clunks, no problems at all. And then thanks to its engine response to the throttle, rev matching, this beauty is really good. Now It doesn't have, since this is the standard model, it doesn't have the cruise control and quick shifter and other fancy stuff, but it still has a lot of tech in it. So let me show it to you. You have phone connectivity, you can see here. It's not connected on my phone though. And telephone, you can see other settings as well. And what's neat here is you can actually view more detailed data of your motorcycle. So you have your engine temperature, you also have your ambient temperature, the time, your fuel range, your voltage, your battery voltage, and I believe there's more to it. Their onboard computer. So they said that the trip meter auto resets when you turn off the bike, which is good and convenient in my opinion. Your fuel consumption, which says 14.4 kilometers per liter. My friend that owns this said that once you get to properly lean this bike, leaning other bikes is going to be a lot more easy. Maybe it's because of the center of gravity too for this bike. It's kinda in the middle. Sometimes I can feel that it doesn't justify, the data sheet doesn't justify the performance or the actual performance of the bike. Braking wise, of course, this has Brembo, so you don't have to worry about it. Even the rear is very, has a nice bite to it. Now, I would like to talk about the tires. I'm very familiar with this Dunlop Sport Max that is OEM that comes with this bike. And to be honest, I am not a fan of it because it doesn't have the best compound slash the best traction to the road as well. It feels very slippery, and even though it's quite new, it's not really the best. And this has it, so just me, I'm not the fan of the standard stock tire. Let's try to lean. Yeah, it feels very heavy. Sorry. Suspension wise, this is non-adjustable, but for the amount of dampening that it provides, I can say it's sufficient, because you have upside down forks that does a lot to balance out the road. Of course, if you're in a very severe road condition, you're going to feel the bumps, but for something that's for normal road conditions, of course it will do perfectly. See how responsive the throttle is and the input of the engine is. It's good. Now for the fuel tank, this only has 17. It only has 13 liters, so you need to take note of that. For something for its size, the fuel tank is rather small. Now what I like about most with 270 crank engines is how good they sound at low RPMs, because it just sounds like an angry motorcycle. Like if you even ask me if I want one for myself, I am now leaning towards something with a similar engine platform. So for your cockpit, here is the view. You have a very large front, and as well as the handlebars are not that super wide, but once you look at it, it all contributes to the very bulky looking feature of the F900R. So this is also keyless, but I hope that the fuel cap is no longer keyless, because I don't know, just for me, like, do I really need an electronic fuel cap? As you can see, I am riding at a very low speed, but the bike still runs very smooth, and then the throttle is really linear as well, so it's not very twitchy, and you can maintain such speeds without having to feel a very jerky input. I think I'll miss this bike. Even though I had it for only a few days, I like the balance of it. Now you can feel how heavy it is when you're steering very tight spaces. So yeah, that's it for the F900R review. If you have any questions for the F900R, please feel free to comment down below and like the channel as well. Again, thank you so much for watching. This is Neo. As always, ride safe and see you on the road.